Okay. Oh, can you see all the birds flying in the background? Oh, this is great. There's a bunch of doves just flying around me in a pack. Pack? It's probably not a pack of birds, right? Maybe. Well, hopefully you'll see it in a moment. Maybe you'll hear it. Is it doves? Pigeons? Is it a pack? Probably not. A gang? Okay, so clearly I'm still experimenting with the formats of my videos. I don't know really what I'm doing yet, but by the way it looks like, it just kind of turns into my mental health journal kind of thing. I love processing things verbally, and so this is phenomenal, right? I can talk to you guys, I can look and be a stupid idiot in front of a camera while processing my thoughts and theories and inner work. Phenomenal, right? So I've been doing a lot of inner work relating girls, relationships, love, whatnot, and I think I get to some pretty good conclusions, but it's a slow process, right? It's gathering clues and then slowly trying to connect the dots, and so this is what I'm doing here. This is where you come in, right? You help me connect the dots now, because you're out there on the other end of this, theoretically, right? And so I can speak and do weird stuff like this and feel like I'm progressing and connecting some dots, right? A friend came to visit me. Feels like a repeating theme, right? In every video, some other some other friend is visiting me. All right, so we each like to measure ourselves, right? We need a way to measure our own values in our own eyes, right? To know if we're doing good or if we don't think we're doing good, right? If we're progressing in the way that we think we should be progressing, or if we're regressing into something we don't want to become. And so we learn mostly as we grow and we get shaped by our parents, by our teachers, by our friends. We grow to understand that certain things we should be measured by and some things we shouldn't. This could be based on simply social structures and, I don't know, the more money you have, the better or something. Or it could be very specific and subjective to you. Maybe your parents are looking for something specific, and so once they find it within you, they celebrate it, and you learn, oh, this is what I have to become, this is what I have to be more of. Now this is good. Without any indicator, without any way to measure yourself, we would stay in place, right? We need to know that we're getting better or we're getting worse, and we're always using the world and the people around us as a mirror, because we're social creatures, and that's what this is what we're built to do. It's good. It's a good mechanism. It's a good system. But I think issues arise once it starts to merge with our actual value of ourselves, with how much we love ourselves and how much we appreciate ourselves. So if we want to progress in certain ways, right, and we measure ourselves in certain areas with certain values, if I measure myself based on my beauty, my absolute breathtaking beauty, right? It's all fine as long as the thing I'm measuring with this is my beauty. Maybe I use it for my profession, or maybe I use it in my romantic life, and it's a quality that's important for me and I want to invest in it. This is all good. It's fine. We need to know what our strengths are and we need to celebrate them. I said that in a previous video, and I mean that. But it's a different thing to love ourselves based on that quality, right? If we think that others love us only when we are beautiful or smart or successful or manly or whatever, we can easily start loving ourselves only when we are that exact same thing. And I think that's kind of a problem. Mostly because we work in patterns, and I think it creates two specific patterns that could be kind of dangerous. The first one is, I think we start loving others the same kind of way. We only love others and appreciate others and look at others the same way we look and love ourselves. And so if we love ourselves only when we show the certain qualities we want to be showing, right? If I love myself only when I'm at my prettiest and smartest, I'm going to be doing the same with my partner, and I'm going to be loving them only when they are representing the qualities that I want them to represent. And you can see how that could be problematic in a relationship where you want to love each other. I wouldn't say unconditionally, because it's a tough, people define it differently, but you don't want to be loving your partner because they are 1, 2, 3 qualities, and that's that. Your partner is the sum of their parts, right? And they're more than just these 3 qualities. There's something bigger that emerges once you combine all these qualities. I like to explain that using a house decorating analogy. I see 3 levels, right? The first one is, I don't really care. There's my house, there's white walls, there's just, objects that are there to be functional, and that's it, right? That's that. Maybe I keep it neat and tidy, maybe, but it's, the things within the room don't really matter. They have a use, they have a function. That's really the reason they're there. On top of that, there's the second level, where I think I am, which I can look at something and say, okay, it looks better than something else. Like it's pretty. I don't know why, but it's good looking. It's a good looking object, right? And it's going to fit well on my shelf. It's going to look nice in my room, right? And so I'll get a bed that I think is pretty, is beautiful, and I'll get pillows to put on top of it that I think look good. But that's kind of the extent of what I can do. But my ex, for instance, could do something that I perceive as borderline magical, right? She could take something that looks nice. It could be the prettiest thing in the apartment. It could be the best looking item in the apartment. And she could remove it, put it in a closet or something, because it doesn't fit the general vibe she's going for, or like the general, connectedness and harmony. And I could just never understand it. I mean, I can understand it with different things, maybe with music, right? I might remove something that is cool because it doesn't fit the harmony, or like whatever is going on at a certain point, right? I can do that with different things, maybe arguments, or maybe a workout I build. But when it comes to aesthetics and visual, I could never understand it. But there's something greater, right? The things themselves, good qualities, good items, only do so much. And at some point you have to mix them together and build something harmonious that creates this extra value. I think we humans, without knowing how and why, we are like this, right? When you meet a partner that you love, you don't love them for a quality or 2 or 3. You love them for the sum of their parts. You love them for the extra value that is being created once you mix all these values, and once all these different things work in harmony and create this amazing individual. And so you can see how this could be problematic. If you love yourself based on specific qualities, and you love others based on specific qualities, you're missing the whole point, right? It's not you, it's me. I'm saying this to myself because I clearly do it. But I'm missing the point. There's something bigger, extra, greater that comes out of every individual that is not the specific qualities that I like or love or learn that I need to measure the person by. Let's move somewhere else. Now, I say all of this because I thought I was quite accepting of myself and loving myself for the sum of my parts and not for specific ones. But recently, ever since the breakup especially, I realized that that's definitely not the case. There's a very specific role that I love myself being in, and I carry proudly, and I feel like I'm doing good and I'm helping people, and I'm a product that I'd like to sell to people. And then the alternative, the opposite, is something I'm almost terrified of. Is something that I think is causing harm to my environment. Is something I actively feel like the world will be better. People will be better without it, right? So when I'm in a certain state of mind, or more correctly, maybe when I'm not in a certain state of mind, I feel like I'm actively doing harm, and I think that that the people around me are better off without me, and I go hide. That's my instinct, at least. And that's a bit of a scary thing to notice, but it's also I think it's good. I mean, it's a big clue. It's something I need to work on, and I definitely do that. But it's kind of okay. So it's my coacher, psychologist, emotionally intelligent, kind of understanding you, making you feel comfortable kind of person, right? It's what I'm trying to do with these videos. It's me trying to feel like I'm chatting with you, like I'm being open and transparent because I have nothing to hide, and I smile to you and you feel like you can do the same maybe. And this is kind of the thing I'm going for. And sometimes it's a little bit of the opposite. I don't become all like angry and judgmental and all of that. Not, I mean, maybe sometimes with some things, but it's more of this general numbness. I don't care whatsoever, and I'm having a hard time smiling. And out of my lack of empathy, I might say things that are hurtful, and I wouldn't even see it coming. I wouldn't even understand it. Yesterday, for instance, I had a nice conversation in WhatsApp with a good friend of mine, and I said something at some point apparently that was hurtful for her, right? And she has her reasons, and I don't know why it's a trigger for her, but it was. And happens. I know I meant nothing bad, and I know I was simply trying to joke around, but I stepped on something I shouldn't have. And it's completely fine. Everybody's doing it. I know I was not trying to hurt anyone. I know all of that, but still, the moment I did it, I felt like I became this hostile environment, and my first instinct is apologizing tremendously and just kind of shutting off. Apologizing makes a lot of sense, right? If you hurt someone, you should apologize, and you should seek to understand why it hurt them. But on top of that, I started feeling like I'm doing all this harm. I started feeling like so much damage. I started feeling like a hostile environment, and so I shut myself off. And for a few hours, I was in such bad mood. Crazy. Didn't want to do anything. Didn't want to talk to anyone else. Didn't want to make videos. Didn't want to, like, everything I like to be doing usually, I didn't want to do. And 2 weeks ago or so, this would confuse me tremendously, but what I think happens now is this. I think the one value that I carry so proudly, right, and I represent myself with, the one strength that I'm trying to double down on and like be all, yo, everybody, look at how smiley and and blabbery I am, and you can be that too, come join me, right? All of that, suddenly I feel like I'm the opposite, and like I'm shutting people down, and like I'm making them want to hide things from me because I'm hostile, and they don't want to be open actively in it. And I feel so bad about it. It like shatters my whole image, and I want to do nothing but like sit and play video games or watch YouTube. Interesting. This is super interesting. Interesting. Now, okay. One other example, one other clue. Ever since the breakup, I've been thinking about dating, but I've been having a really hard time doing so for many reasons. But one of them, which I noticed recently, is that I have this genuine fear of girls that are doing good, like doing too good, that is so weird, right? I see relationships as like two individuals that are happy with themselves, and and like they're all good, and then they intensify each other, right? So it shouldn't be someone in a bad spot and someone in a better spot, or maybe two people in a bad spot, and they kind of bring each other back to zero, to baseline, right? It shouldn't be someone giving you a hand and pulling you out of the abyss, but it should be more of a like, yo, wait, we can do this together, and then it's way easier and nicer and better, right? But I'm fine on my own as well, right? This kind of thing. And so thinking that, but then simultaneously being scared of someone who I think is already like doing fine, right, is a bit weird, right? But I think that's exactly that. I think it threatens me because I feel like I have nothing to give then. I feel like I lose my value. I don't think I need to drag someone out of their misery, but it's kind of as if I think that I can't help them mentally or with their habits maybe because they're already good, right? If I can't be this YouTuber, coacher, trainer, instructor, Noam guy, then I have nothing to give them, and then they'll see it, and then they won't want to be with me, right? Shitty feeling. It's kind of a shitty feeling, but it's interesting as well. Yeah, it's really interesting to see that you put all your eggs in one basket, and that you measure yourself based on this one role that you place yourself in. Now, I said it a second ago, and so I know I'm not these qualities and I shouldn't be measured by them. I know I'm the sum of my parts, and I know that I'm just, I'm just, I'm me, and I can't escape that. But at the same time, it's hard not to feel like I'm doing damage, or like I'm a failure if I become certain qualities, and I can't feel like I'm not successful or I'm doing good when I become different qualities. And finding the middle ground, interesting. I don't know how I will do that, but it seems important. It feels like I wouldn't really be able to be in a relationship, not at least not one that functions for a long time, if I measure myself based on specific qualities, and if I measure the other person based on their specific qualities. It just means me needing certain validations. It means me getting triggered and distant at times when I feel like I'm doing damage. It's difficult to live with, right? It's already how I am, and I know and I and I already put a couple of girls through this whole process. It's pretty tough. I'm difficult, yeah. But I think we're going in a good direction. I think these are some good clues, and I'll see where I get with this. No, actually today I'm not smiling because I need to prove myself that the other part is also good. So I'll criticize you with my finger, and and I'll say in advance, thanks for stopping by.